Biden and Fauci will hate it, but many states are saying enough lockdowns. Arizona and West Virginia joining other states in reopening today. In red Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey removing occupancy limitations for restaurants, gyms, theaters, water parks, bowling alleys, even bars that serve food. Also, K-12 students are going back to school by the middle of the month. Ducey tweeting out today, like the rest of the country, Arizona has made its way out of the winter surge of cases, and we are leading the nation in the vaccination rollout. Our mitigation strategies have been targeted and data-driven. There you go. Another red state, West Virginia. As of midnight tonight, just a couple hours, restaurants and bars can now use 100% of their seating capacity. Here's their governor, Jim Justice.
From the standpoint of our small businesses and retail stores, we're lifting the capacity limitation there. I am also increasing the capacity limit for other businesses that still have capacity restrictions like gyms, fitness centers, museums. They can go to 100% as well. As far as our little fellas and girls that are playing travel sports and everything, I am also lessening the restrictions on all youth sports.
There you go. But the boldest move by far has been in the very blue state of Connecticut, a state containing some of the wealthier New York City suburbs in the southwest corner, a state Joe Biden won by 20 points, opening up. That's a move. Today, Democrat Governor Ned Lamont of Connecticut had to argue his position with a CNN host who clearly thinks he's making the wrong choice.
All of our schools now are open, most of them for full-time, 5-day-a-week activity. Our restaurants and retail have been open at 50%. And given the fact that we have so many of our people, well over 20% have been vaccinated, the vast majority of whom are over 55, where you're most likely to suffer complications. Our hospitalization is down. So we thought this is something we know we can do safely. We know it works.
Lamont being the first liberal to join the common sense crowd. He could pave the way for other blue states to follow. I hope he does. 11 months ago, right after this all began, Connecticut joined 6 other blue northeastern and New England states, forming a COVID-19 reopening task force. New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo led the charge as he was prepping to write a book about how great he is. How naive we all were last April. We still believed this would be a 1 or 2 month ordeal, and they were talking about opening up. We've been locked up now for a year. That 7-state reopening coalition that they started back last April has been treading water for 11 months now. How depressing is that? And now Connecticut appears to be breaking from that pact. That is a major moment. This could have a big impact on several things. First off, Democrats are about to spend $2 trillion of your money, and they needed Americans to feel like we were still in the grips of this pandemic to justify it. This is why the Biden team and most other Democrats are ignoring all of the good news. Cases and deaths are dropping fast. Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine expected to be a game changer, and it's already going into arms. The country added 379,000 jobs in February. That's a good number. All good stuff the Democrats don't want you to hear. And Ned Lamont of Connecticut is not holding the party line. The official directive, of course, is doom and gloom. But Lamont is putting his state over his party. We'll see if any other blue state governors are as brave. So far, the Biden administration hasn't attacked Connecticut the way they did with Texas and Mississippi earlier this week.
I think it's a big mistake. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters.
It's funny to watch the president pretend to be concerned about COVID while cheering on the biggest super spreader event this country has ever seen happening right now on our southern border. Texas Governor Greg Abbott certainly has noticed.
The Biden administration has been releasing immigrants in South Texas that have been exposing Texans to COVID. Some of those people have been put on buses, taking that COVID to other states in the United States.
We're going to have much more on that later on in the show. In the meantime, Dr. Doom, Tony Fauci, says we're on the verge of another COVID spike.
We are starting to plateau. That plateau is about 60 to 70,000 cases a day. When you have that much of viral activity in a plateau, it almost invariably means that you are at risk for another spike. All
right, that's right. Time to shut everything down again. Time to hide. What a con job 15 days to slow the spread was. Remember all that time ago, almost a year ago now? If we listened to Dr. Fauci, we'd wear masks forever. We'd probably never go into a bar again. I don't think Fauci is a bad person. I just think the only thing that he can see is virus, because that's all he really knows. There is absolutely no reason he should be helping to make policy. This country and our lives and this society is much more complicated than just COVID. The liberal response to this virus has been like popping a zit with a shotgun. You don't shut down an entire country for a virus that's only a serious threat to a small subsection of its population. You just don't do that. As Trump said, the cure cannot be worse than the virus itself. In blue states, it absolutely is. In California, which is a COVID disaster for so many reasons, you still can't go into a restaurant, but you'll soon be able to go to Disneyland or a baseball game, it appears. I guess that makes sense, right? I'm sure Disney and the LA Dodgers need that infusion of cash much more than restaurant owners and their staff of waiters. Tonight on Capitol Hill, a marathon session in the Senate. Taking a live look right now, debating the COVID relief bill, $1.9 trillion. The upper chamber expected to take dozens of votes on various amendments before a final vote, which is expected sometime tomorrow morning. Before tonight, the longest vote in Senate history ran 10 hours and 8 minutes back in 2019, and this one has beaten the record. These are not the kind of records you want to be beating. A big update tonight, though. Republicans have managed to lower the federal unemployment payout from $400 a week down to $300. That's a way that Republicans hope will motivate people to get back to work. You're not paying all these people to lay around. Democrats agreed to that just to keep Joe Manchin on board, which is why he's very unpopular with the Democrats this week. The West Virginia Democrat took a lot of heat from his own party. Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted out, "It's clear liberal Democrat forces are up to no good when it comes to West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. Manchin is trying to make sure that someone receiving unemployment benefits does not earn more than someone who gets up and goes to work." Common sense. Democrats don't like it.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.